Picture this.
You wake up one morning and make a decision.
Orders move through systems most people never see.
People move. Machines move. Because someone made a call.
Discussions happen. But the decision has already started moving.
And most people hear about it.
Shh. Later.
Here's the thing.
Power has always been part of the American story. The most powerful? Who changed America forever?
To understand power in America, you have to start with a crisis.
Banks were failing. Jobs were disappearing. Confidence in the entire system was collapsing. Then, a new leader stepped in.
And for the first time in a long time, people felt someone was steering the ship.
The site is swelling.
New programs appeared almost overnight. The government wasn't just reacting anymore. For the first time, the presidency itself was becoming something bigger.
New agencies appeared almost overnight.
Roads were built. Bridges rose. Electricity reached places that had been dark for generations. Industry started moving again. And more decisions started flowing through one place.
The center of gravity was shifting.
And the country started paying attention.
What started as emergency action was slowly becoming permanent power. But power in America didn't only come from government. Sometimes it came from money. And at the center of that financial world, sat a small group of men who controlled enormous wealth.
They financed railroads.
They financed factories.
Entire industries moved because they decided to fund them. And sometimes they influenced the direction of the entire country. At the beginning of the 20th century, the financial system started shaking. Confidence was fragile. So the most powerful financiers gathered behind closed doors. Messages moved quickly. Money moved even faster.
And slowly, stability began returning. Markets steadied.
And people realized something important. Money was powerful, but information could be even more powerful.
Because information reveals things people would rather keep hidden.
And sometimes, the person holding the files holds the power.
Details matter. Connections matter even more.
Over time, those records added up. Patterns began to appear. And the people managing those records understood exactly how valuable they were.
Because when you control information, you influence the system itself.
As the 20th century moved forward, another kind of power started growing. Decisions were no longer just local. They could affect events around the current world. And the speed of those decisions kept increasing. More and more authority started flowing through one office.
Because the system was getting more complex.
And the country was listening more closely than ever.
Because the presidency had become something far bigger than it started.
Then something changed. Power moved in front of the cameras.
For the first time, millions of people could watch leadership in real time. And journalists were paying attention too. Every decision could become tomorrow's headline.
Power was still there. But now it had an audience.
And the world was becoming more connected.
Information was moving faster than ever, which meant power could no longer stay completely behind closed doors.
Government wasn't the only place where power lived. Markets could move entire economies. And sometimes a decision in a boardroom could ripple across the country. Because the modern economy connects everything. Information, money, infrastructure.
All flowing through systems most people never see.
Which brings us back to the real question. When power shapes a nation, where does it really come from?
Some power comes from elected office. Some power comes from money. And some power comes from information. But the real story is how those forces interact. Because decisions rarely happen in isolation. Every system influences another. But at the center of it all, one office still carries enormous weight. Some leaders gained influence during moments of crisis.
They reorganized entire economies.
Others shaped the country through financial influence. And some controlled information that few people ever saw.
Political power, financial power, Institutional power. Each shaped the country in different ways. Each shaped the country in different ways.
But power in America was never just one person. It was always a balance between systems.
The country had faced crises before.
But this moment demanded something bigger.
A leader stepped forward and spoke directly to the nation.
And millions of people listened.
The life-size drivers.
Programs appeared that reshaped the economy.
The federal government suddenly had reach it had never had before. And the presidency itself began to change. From that moment on, the office carried more power than ever before.
So who really had the most power?
Was it the leaders making decisions?
The financiers shaping markets?
Or the institutions controlling information? The truth is, power in America was never held by just one person. It moved between systems. Between government, business, and institutions. Each one shaping the direction of the country. But one thing became clear. The presidency slowly became the center of that balance.
Not because one person controlled everything.
But because that office sat at the crossroads of the system. And every decision made there could echo across the entire country.
And that is how power really worked in American history.
If you enjoy uncovering the hidden mechanics of history, subscribe to America Unlocked.